Do you sometimes feel fruitful or fruitless? Do your inspirations, your dreams, to the different areas of your life come to fruition? These are important things to think about. And as the topic of today's talk, why we avoid seedless fruit. Now, of course, fruit is the most natural and easiest to digest, which is a sign that it's the most natural food for humanity. And for our body type, which is that of a frugivore, that of a primate, not that I advocate for the theory of Darwinian evolution. However, a fruit bearing a seed, as is written in the timeless texts, the word of God from around the world, fruit bearing seed reproduces after itself. It is fertile fruit. It exists since time immemorial. It is eternally reproductive, fertile, fruitful, creative. That is the way that fruit is designed to be, and that is the way we are designed to be. Fruit is the most creative food. Fruit is the most creative fruit, and it's the most creative food because it's self-creating. It's designed to be enjoyed the most. It's designed to be enjoyed so that the seed is spread. Now, we've all have a seed and seeds within us, within the divine spark in our hearts, as part of the unique gifts and offerings that we're each here to be. And the degree to which we tend to that seed and take care of it and water it and don't fuss around with it too much, it will sprout. It will flower and it will fruit. And while it's sprouting and flowering and fruiting, its roots are growing deep and strong. As is said, the quality of the fruit is dictated by the quality of the root and the soil it grows within. Plants are an amazing metaphor for life. They are a reflective window. There are countless stories speaking of the comparison of the metaphor between the plant and the human being, the tree and the human being, and the different phases and stages and parts of a tree relate to the different characteristics and stages of being a human being. So there's all kinds of ways that this is useful practically and metaphorically. So there are many seeds that are extremely health-giving and medicinal, such as the papaya seed, an excellent cleanser and eliminator of pathogens. And actually, obviously, seeds would prefer it the most if we ate and swallowed them whole, so that when they came out the other side, they had a chance of sprouting. Whereas if we crunch up the seed, obviously, there's much less chance of it sprouting. But many seeds are a lot more effective when we swallow them whole as a benefit to us, as well as a benefit for the plant's perpetuation and continuity. So papaya seeds, whether we swallow them whole, they seem to work best if we swallow them whole, but we can also crunch them up and they bring a wonderful peppery taste and make a very savory dish out of a papaya. One of the most wonderful fruits, one of the best digestive enzymes and cleansers and rejuvenators and beautifiers. You know, there's a big difference between really good quality papaya and something that's mass produced and isn't ripe, which is the huge issue with fruit. Fruit is designed to be the perfect food for humanity, but it's not designed to be industrially, mono-agriculturally produced. which of course the industrially monoagriculturally produced fruits are the ones that tend to be grown in a seedless fashion. So some of the other amazing seeds within fruits include apricot kernels, include watermelon seeds, both of those famous for being rich in B17 and the well-known and well-suppressed and censored benefits, life-changing benefits of B17 also happens to be in apple seeds. So there's a good quote that I heard from Myron Golden of him quoting someone else. And I haven't learned the quote, but it's something about, yes, a human can guess how many seeds are in a fruit, but it would be crazy to think how many fruits are in a seed. Because, of course, if we plant a seed, who knows how many fruits with how many seeds in it that's going to produce in one generation. And that could produce a new crop every year or even more often. And for some trees, they might take years or decades to come to fruition and bear fruit. But there is that potential for eternal abundance, which is really what we're designed to be and live in. Creativity is eternal abundance. And the seed within us carries the divine spark, carries the seed within us is a reflection of the fruit and the tree that it came from. As they say, the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. Well, if we are, which I'm highly suggesting we are, as countless others have, we are made in the image and likeness of our Creator. So the seed within us carries the blueprint of the Creator, and we are here to experience being a co-creator with our fellow siblings, with the Creator and all of creation, and to be fruitful in our health, to be fruitful in our relationships, to be fruitful in our creativity, and to be fruitful in our prosperity in all ways. So it's important that our fruit is healthy fruit and aligned. Not only is it beyond organic and biodynamic and permaculturally grown and wild fruit and fruit grown with love in your garden, fruit from an ecosystem that's been loved, where the soil is rich and the effective microorganisms in the soil and the mushroom life in the soil and all the insects and all the minerals, and the soil isn't depleted, but it's regenerated, leads to quality fruit. And we know exactly, our body knows exactly how much fruit and what fruit to eat on what day, according to what is ripe. And it's possible for every human being on earth. There is more than enough land. Look it up. Do the calculations yourself. It's very simple. There is more than enough land for everyone on earth to have at least a hectare or two of land. For everyone, let alone the fact that families will share a hectare of two of land. There is more than enough. And not just mountain land or unfarmable, ungrowable land, no, growable land. And on a patch of land that is easily manageable by hand, enjoyably manageable, not struggle and strain and stress manageable, manageable by hand without a combine harvester or a big tractor or anything like that. Essentially a garden, not a farm. A garden that is well managed from the airflow, the wind flow, where trees are planted, how water is managed on the site, with a well-designed garden, which of course is our place of origin in many traditions of the world. Our place of origin is a well-designed garden, designed by the Creator. And not just the garden arrangement itself, but every living creature, the mineral kingdom of the garden, that's way beyond just the periodic table we were taught in school. the mushroom kingdom, the bacterial kingdom, the plant kingdom, the animal kingdom, every single one of those designed by the creator and then designed to cooperate, to co-create, to collaborate. So in that perfectly designed garden, which is our origins, and of course the perfectly designed garden starts in our consciousness on the inside. And the active, creative part of our consciousness is our imagination. It's the causal realm. The effects that are produced in the more 3D physical world start from the causal realm. So the garden within, which of course relates to our consciousness and manifests as the garden of the body, having all the minerals in it and having all the friendly bacteria, flora, and fauna within it, having abundant flowing streams of clean water flowing through the 22 liters or so of the lymphatic system, which is 1/3 of our body weight. Are those streams and rivers running through every fiber and organ of our being? Are they clean and fresh, or are they clogged up and stagnant and polluted? So, in this well-designed garden, each and every day of the year, something else can be at its peak fruition. We can all have a thriving garden that has hundreds of different varieties of fruits. Hundreds. Just to give everyone some idea, there's at least 2,000 varieties of apples. There's probably at least 2,000 varieties of mangoes, and those are just two fruits. And let's say we didn't have more than one type of apple or one type of cherry. We could still have a couple of hundred types of fruit in any garden, whether we were in Siberia or we were in the deserts of Mexico, in a well-managed garden. And that's just the fruit. That's not including the leaves, the edible flowers, the seeds of the fruit, the roots, the barks, the seaweeds, and the mushrooms, potentially, obviously, depending on location. And we know exactly what to eat and how much to eat because that is what's ripe on that day. That's what ripeness is about. That's what being in the present moment is about. When you have a garden that you've grown, which we've all been taught to think that we can't do that and rely on the modern industrial system, and not just the high-tech chemical poison industrial system, but the industrial system of mono-agriculture and urban and rural living itself, the so-called agricultural revolution, much of which is backwards, depletes human health, depletes the health of the entire ecosystem, and yet we applaud it as some great discovery and movement forward. Doesn't mean we have to go and live like cave people, if you believe that story, at all. We can thrive as the healthiest, happiest individuals, families, villages, communities of people all over the earth, collaborating in growing the most inspiring creative projects, enterprises, families, all kinds of projects. So, being fruitful. Let's mention another seed, grape seed, one of the more famous seedless fruits being pushed. Yeah, of course, everyone knows it's much easier to eat a grape or a watermelon when there's no seed, when we crunch into that often bitter seed. But that bitter seed is so much easier to eat when it's mixed with the most delicious, sweet, ripe fruit. And it's strengthening our teeth. It's activating peristalsis, the digestive wave in our body. And an example with grape seeds is that they are one of the things in nature that pull gold, monoatomic gold, from the soil, which is one of the 92 to 100 and something plus minerals that are in the soil. People spend an arm and a leg on grape seed extracts, such as, I believe it's called pignogenol. And I think there's some other one. I can't remember if it's resveratrol, but let's just say people spend a lot of money on some supplements that come from grape seeds whilst buying seedless grapes. Crazy. And people do the same thing with apricot kernels and all different types of seeds. And yes, we can overconsume seeds. And of course, everything can be a medicine and everything can be a poison. An apple was designed to be in the ratio of you eat this much apple and there might be this much seeds. If someone goes about things the other way around and decides, I'm going to eat this much apple fruit and I'm going to eat this much seeds, well, they might make themselves quite ill or worse. Why would we go against nature and do the opposite? Why would we go against ourselves and do the opposite? So let's be smart by seeing the genius of creation. There is a huge assault on humanity, on fertility, through all the chemicals, whether they're chemicals in our ecosystem, in our air, in our water, in our food. There are all kinds of mental poisons, false evidence appearing real, fears, mind viruses, all kinds of negativity put out into the world that affects our fertility, all kinds of hormone disruptors. It's a full-on assault and full-on war. And at the same time, it's good to be aware of these things. At the same time, are we aware? Are we allowing ourselves to bathe in the waterfall and cascade of well-being that creation, the magnificence of paradise creation provides? Do we go where there is the flow of fresh air? Do we benefit from all the elemental qualities of invigorating fire, whether that's a sunshine or sitting by a campfire or enjoying candlelight rather than all the LED lights? Do we allow ourselves to experience fresh, thirst-quenching spring water? Do we give ourselves the gift of fasting, whether that's water fasting, dry fasting, fruit fasting, wild food fasting, so many different types of fasting? And according to the different type of fasting will benefit the element in our body. Obviously, a dry fast is a more fiery fast than a water fast. Are we allowing ourselves to receive the benefits of all the wild foods that are growing in abundance? Are we allowing ourselves to be bathed? Forest bathing is a thing. The Japanese famously have a word for it. Well, forest bathing is fantastic, but we can literally be paradise bathing, which forest bathing is a part of. But the more we tune in to paradise on the inside, paradise thoughts, paradise consciousness, which is simply appreciation, thankfulness, tuning into the frequencies of the genius creator and the truth that created us, that created the magnificent miracle of life, that brought it to fruition, that made it fruitful and bearing seed so that it perpetually creates fruition. As the famous permaculturist Jeff Lawton says, something along the lines of, no matter how complex the world's problems seem to get, all the answers and solutions can be found in a garden. And it really is very true. It's easy for us to doubt because we're told all the time growing up through television, media, school, the industrially orchestrated educational system made to produce obedient workers, not to draw out the divinity, the sovereignty, the genius, and the empowerment of the children of God. So let us study, appreciate, and celebrate the Creator and the creation that we're living in, not the elements of the artificial world. Celebritydom, being overpossessed by our devices and social media. All of these tools can be useful, but let's connect with what really is the giver of life. What gives us fresh air, what gives us the life force of a living body, the warmth, what supports the animating life force, the spirit of a human body. Movement, exercise, vitality, adventure, passion, enthusiasm, initiative. Let's experience emotional fluidity and mastery. Let go of all that baggage, all that accumulated generational distortions that we've picked up and were products of a distorted paradigm that many of our ancestors lived through. Give ourselves the gift of real hydration, not government prescribed, drink 2 liters of tap water a day. And some tap waters in some places are outstandingly good compared to a lot of the liquid coming out of a lot of faucets in a lot of countries, bursting with a lot of damaging toxic chemicals. Stop rubbing chemicals in your hair, on your skin, on your face, on your teeth, on your body. Stop wearing chemical clothes. Give yourself a break from all the carcinogens. Give yourself a break from poking and prodding yourself full of all kinds of unnatural things, and then hoping to experience health, well-being, vitality, and thriving. Be fruitful. Allow the unique gift, blessing, offering of the divine spark and seed that's within you to come to fruition and bear fruit with more seeds. Feel fertile creatively and otherwise on all levels. Feel flourishing. Feel wild. Feel paradise. Feel who you truly are. Sending everyone so much love, hugest hugs, alohas, and we have the new Be Fruitful launch happening soon. So subscribe here on this channel, comment, ask questions, like it, and you'd really be doing yourself and us and everyone a Winfinity benefit if you could share this video, share this message, and embody it. Experiment with it, investigate, play. Paradise is calling. Fruitfulness, creativity, and fulfillment is calling. So there'll be a link in the description about the new Be Fruitful program, and we look forward to seeing you then. Hugest hugs, lots of love. Ciao.
Okay, that was heaps.